Okay, this next segment, by the way, is brought to us by the USFL. I know we're talking basketball, but on weekends throughout the summer, the spring, and into the fall, the USFL is family-friendly fun for everybody. Check them out. They play in Canton all over the country. Tickets for $10. Check them out, USFL.com. Well worth the news. The Cavs obviously had a wing issue this year. We know that.
I'd say so.
They had nobody to play really the 3 position, and when it counted most, they turned to Danny Green, Isaac Okoro. They tried Dean Wade. It didn't work. No matter how you slice and dice it, they have an issue at the 3 position. And they don't have a ton of money to spend. They have a mid-level exception. They're going to bring back Karis LeVert. But as it currently stands, Steve, you can take the graphic right here. These are the wings under contract, assuming LeVert comes back for the Cavaliers next season. LeVert, Okoro, Jetty Osman, Lamar Stevens, Dean Wade, and Sam Merrill, who Bull did not know was a real player.
Yeah.
Who he is. Jason,
yeah.
Real quick, one sentence. Will you give a scouting report on Sam Merrill to Bull? One sentence.
Shoot.
He's a white dude, isn't he?
The white guy who shoots.
I knew he was white.
He can shoot.
So I scavenged the interweb, the free agent market, the upcoming free agent market, for guys who I think realistically, these are 3 realistic targets for the Cavs who I think could fill that 3-and-D spot. I'm going to present them to you. You guys tell me which one you like the most, and if any of the 3 can actually move the needle for the Cavs. First, Lakers 3-and-D wing, Malik Beasley. He's an unrestricted free agent. Number 2, Dante DiVincenzo. He played postseason minutes for the Warriors this year, former Buck. He played at Villanova, won a national championship. And last but not least, Georges Niang of the 76ers, a little bigger 3-and-D guy. He's kind of more of a stretch 4 than a true 3-and-D, but he did shoot 40% from 3 this year, can play in the playoffs, was in the Sixers rotation in this postseason. So not great. But of those 3,
that's the choices?
Who do you like the most?
Are you excited about any of those?
I think DiVincenzo can help him.
Yeah?
I think doesn't he have a player option, Mikey? I think he's.
Mike, does he have a player option?
I don't believe. I'll double check, but he was on the list of wing free agents.
Well, because he's probably going to decline it because it's less than $5 million. So he'll probably decline it and go back into the market.
If he's the best 3 on the market.
I mean, right there, I was just going to say, I thought he shot around 40%. Right there it is. 40% three-point shooter. That's what they need. Like, I screamed all through the playoffs. Shooting. Now, 9.5 points per game isn't going to get anyone excited. But remember what team he's on.
Playing with the Warriors.
Yeah, he's playing with the Warriors. But he does have postseason experience. He has big game experience. He can shoot it. You would hope that he was up and down in this postseason, but he's a role player. That's what role players do. They tend to be erratic at times.
The whole team was up and down.
Yeah. Well, if you can shoot 40% from 3, you can play on my team. And that's what I think the Cavs need to focus on more than anything is shooting. And I like DiVincenzo a little bit more than those other guys.
DiVincenzo does, by the way, have a player option, but it's for $4 million. He'll almost certainly opt out.
He was originally drafted by Milwaukee.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking him. Like, look. Not only can he shoot, he's more athletic than the rest of the Georges Niang. Now, I like Niang, too. He pisses me off when we play him because he never wants to lose. I don't like him and Strus. They're the same guy. They're twins. I don't like them. They piss me off the way they play. But
also shot 40% from 3.
If you could swap, I don't know how much money they got. If you could swap Niang and DiVincenzo out for like a Lamar Stevenson and I don't know who else we got on the bench, a Jetty or something. You take it, bro.
But are these real? Can they get these guys for the mid-level exception?
Yeah, all 3 of these guys, and Jason, you can come back. But these are 3 realistic options for the mid-level exception, which is the money they do have to spend. These guys would fit into the mid-level exception.
What did Beasley shoot this year?
You take Beasley's stats, 37, 38.
Yeah, I was going to say
30s.
35.
They're all the guys who have made threes. Beasley's fallen out of the rotation. He shot 36% this year. He's kind of fallen out of the Lakers rotation, but he was a bigger part of the offensive rotation in Minnesota and Utah.
So let me ask you guys a question, because I'm not going to be a phony. I don't know these guys well enough to make it a good opinion, so I'm going to bring it to you guys. Who's the best? You like DiVincenzo the best?
Yeah.
Who do you like the best?
DiVincenzo.
Mikey, who do you like the best of those 3?
I think DiVincenzo makes the most sense, even though he's a little undersized for the 3. So it's another smaller 3 for when the postseason rolls around.
So can he defend other 3s?
He hustles. He's a better
Energy.
defender of a guard than a true wing.
And he's more he's not a regular white dude. Like he's athletic. Like his name is Dante.
Yeah.
That's one.
That's true.
He
does have
can
the
move.
name.
Listen, he can put the ball on the ground, 3, 4, 5, 6 dribbles and create a little bit. Now you ain't gonna ask him to put the ball in his hands, but I mean George Niang he's like a step more athletic than me.
I'm just wondering now if I'm a regular white dude. Am I just
You're a regular white dude.
Yep. You don't.
No special white dude here.
If you don't own any mid tops, do you like?
Those are the coolest shoes I've got right there. That's it.
If you don't got mids,
That makes me definitely a regular.
Oh, listen, you got New
but I don't
Balance
even
and Brooks.
consider myself a white dude.
Well, I guess you could just say you're Jewish.
Yeah, I don't.
You could get that. That's a whole distinction.
I feel like I'm in my own category.
Okay.
Okay, so you didn't answer though. In the end, how much better is DiVincenzo than the non-Levert guys on that list, or
He's
even
better.
Levert?
The answer is yes.
He's better than them.
So DiVincenzo's a better shooter than anybody they got of the others.
More consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
For his career, just to give you
Yeah.
numbers, for DiVincenzo from 3, he shot 27% as a rookie. Not good, 3 attempts. Next season, 34% on 4 attempts. Next season, 39% on 5 attempts. Then in Milwaukee in 2021, he got traded midway through the season. He only played 42 games that year, but he shot 35%. And this past season, on 5 attempts per game, 5.3, he shot 39.7%. So pretty consistently a high 30s three-point shooter.
Okay. And he's what, 24 years old, 25 years old, something like that?
He's older than that.
He just turned 26.
Okay.
Just turned 26.
He's not old, but he's not
No, he's
young.
not old.
I mean, it seems like, to me, again, it seems like, okay, he helps them. He probably makes them better. But is he a difference maker to them getting to another round? Probably not.
You're
right?
not going to find a difference maker.
You can't get a guy like
You're not going to find a difference maker.
Is he the best guy they can reasonably get? Probably.
Barring a trade, yeah, probably.
Okay. And who would be available in trade? Like,
I don't know. It's so hard because you don't know what teams. I do think. I mean, we had this discussion before. I don't think they're moving Jared Allen, but I do think that Jared Allen does have value. I know he got cooked against the Knicks, and it didn't go well for him. But I talked to a couple teams after that. We were like, yeah, I still like Jared Allen. Yeah, he's a player in this league. So I do think if they did want to explore that, I think that there's value there for him. I just don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to run this back.
Bull, this is, to me, I've already resigned myself to thinking and looking at the big plan. They are, to me, I don't see any way that they don't lose Donovan Mitchell. It just is what it is. And I think what they're telling you is they're trying to slow play you a little bit. They're trying to just be like, don't worry about it. If he does leave, we have some other things we can do. That they're doing that in real time. Because honestly, if you don't have any way, these are the best players you can get, right? I'm not dumb. We ain't dumb. Look at that level these guys is playing in the playoffs. Look at the level.
Yes.
This is masterclass level. And if the Cavs play the best they're capable of, they're still not on this level. And so, okay, well, how do you make the team better? If he says he's not going to trade anybody, and you take him at his word, Donovan Mitchell goes into next season. The Cavs are a 1 through 5 seed. They come, they play. Maybe they win a first-round series. They get bounced to the second round. Now Donovan Mitchell has 1 year left, and you're looking at where can we ship him to.
That's right.
So I don't understand what
Unfair? Fair?
I think it's unfair.
Okay.
I think they can be better than that. Like I said this year, I thought they were the 3rd best team in the East.
did?
Yeah. Now I never liked Philly. I never bought into Philly. I got
Yeah.
the receipts on that. Now Philly had a better regular season. They went farther.
And a better
than the
postseason,
Cavs.
even though they choked.
and they went farther. But I've never bought into the Philly. I don't like Harden. I don't like Embiid.
I don't think the Cavs can beat Philadelphia.
Oh, I think they can. Next year, I think
Is
they can.
Philadelphia going to blow? Let me ask you this. Is Philadelphia going to blow things up after another embarrassing loss? They fire their coach. And I know this guy's making an absurd amount of money, but is there any way they could trade for Tobias Harris? The Cavs.
The Cavs?
He's making like $40 million next year.
Yeah.
I know he's overpaid, but he's a good player.
Philly would love to get rid of him, I'll tell you that. He's making $39 million next year, but I don't know how in the world they finagle that.
But isn't he a good player? I mean, I know he's not worth
not a
$40
$40 million
I
player.
know that, but he's a lot better than anybody else
What's
they
he
have.
got left on his contract?
1 year. It's only 1 year.
they're gonna.
Is he not a lot better than anybody they have?
They're gonna have to make one of these decisions, boo. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to either you're gonna overpay somebody that ain't worth it, like, because in I just don't see where, like, if we say they could beat Philadelphia, Joel Embiid dominates against us. Like, he's unstoppable. Like, but against these other teams, sure, he shrinks to the party when it's Boston. But like we watching Boston, they're good.
Let me ask you guys: if Tobias Harris, I know he's overpaid, but who cares? If Tobias Harris is in this starting lineup, how much better are the Cavs?
A lot.
Better, not a lot. He's
you don't
good,
think
but
he's significantly better than Dante DiVincenzo or Karis LeVert?
I mean, he's older. He doesn't really
But it's
defend
1
that
year.
well.
It's 1 year, and you think, well, maybe Donovan Mitchell's going to leave. So let's get the best small, wing player we can get. I mean, I don't think they can get
But
somebody
how
better
are
than
you
him.
getting that? How are you fitting this $40 million salary?
Go over the cap. F it.
But you still have to, if you're going to trade for him, you still have to make the salaries match.
Okay.
So Jared Allen will get you $20 million. He'll get you halfway there, but I don't know where you're going to come up.
You trade Jared and Karis to equal Tobias. That's 40.
Oh, there you go. And now you're really deficient at wing without Karras there. I don't know.
They're screwed.
But isn't he a lot better than Karis? No, you don't think he's a lot better than Karis?
So there's two debates here that, in terms of like the cap, and maybe for the sake of this argument, we'll carry that out. Maybe that doesn't put them into the tax.
Yeah.
Mike, does the money match enough to where they're not in they're not a tax-paying team with those two?
The Cavs?
Yeah.
Does
If
the
they
cap
use
go
those
up
two to
next
bring
year
in
or no?
Harris,
For the sake of the argument, yeah. If you do the
it's
Tobias,
essentially a wash.
Okay.
Essentially a wash.
Okay.
All right, because like you don't the Cavs' feeling on this, and I don't think this has changed. They don't want to become a tax-paying team until Evan signs his extension, and they want to try and suppress it until then, because once you start that clock, you can't stop it.
Right.
And the repeat offender tax is really getting out of control now in terms of how punitive it is and the way that they're cracking down on these owners. But now the other track is, well, you have Donovan Mitchell here right now.
That's right.
And you have to win right now.
And you've said you think
I think next
if
year.
they
very
don't
well,
win,
I think
he's
next
gone.
year. I think next year very well could be.
So
his last year.
what I'm saying is,
So now do you start the clock now?
Yes.
Trying to keep him.
Right.
But now you've just screwed yourself 3-4 years from now. Like you've really messed up your cap.
but in the end, it's just money from a billionaire. Who cares?
Dan blinked. Like people don't
Dan's
realize.
not running the show anymore.
No, but it's still
right?
his checkbook. It's his money.
He's richer than God.
I'm telling
Let's
you.
Go.
I'm telling you. Now you.
The Cavs have to suffer because a billionaire is going to be cheap.
No,
is what you're saying.
no. That when it came repeat offender time.
Yeah, he didn't want to pay it.
I think I'd have to go back and look, because I don't want to get this wrong. I think it was Verjao that they moved that they didn't have to.
That's
they
right.
didn't have to move.
You're
him,
right.
But they dumped that money because they were bringing on Channing, and the way that like even Dan blinked. Like the repeat offender got so bad that even Dan blinked on it. And
it's worse now.
And it's worse now.
It's worse now. The new CBA, which sucks, by the way. I'm very upset at the new CBA rules, because I'd finally understood the NBA salary cap, luxury tax, offenders, and now they completely changed everything. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, here's the problem. When you sit down as an organization and they're looking at 3-4 years down the line with ramifications on repeat offender taxes and stuff, if you had the foresight to do that and look 3-4 years in line, why did you not say, well, we're going to trade 3-4 years of number one picks for Donovan Mitchell.
That's right.
And then not do anything.
And then let me say something else to that point, okay? The Golden State Warriors are done, aren't they?
Probably. They are in cap.
They are done.
They're in
LeBron's
cap
going to
hell.
be another year older. I know it's ridiculous. Eventually, he's going to hit the wall.
Eventually, he's going to fall off.
People have been saying that for 5 years.
Good
I
gracious.
mean, the league is. It feels like the league's kind of open right now.
But I think that's why they want to sort of keep their powder dry on the tax. Sort of what you're just saying. The Celtics aren't going to be good forever. The Sixers aren't going to be good forever. It's all in the East right now. I actually think the Lakers could win the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
sure.
it's all in the East right now. That's where the power is. But it's not always going to be that way. And the Cavs have, if you want to count Darius and Evan and Jarrett, which they are, if you want to count those three guys, they're going to have more staying power than a lot of these other teams.
But Jason, as G said, and I agree, what was the point of trading for Donovan Mitchell?
Because
you weren't going to go all in.
I agree. I understand that. I get it. And it may have been a little early to push all in, but you never know when these guys are going to become available.
Right.
And he fit age-wise, he fit need-wise, he fit what they needed, so they
I
pushed
get it.
all in.
So
and
why-
it's hard for me to kill him for this because
Yeah.
I killed him over Kyrie because they had a chance to
Right.
win and they didn't go for it.
And I'm not-
Well, now they feel like they have a chance to win and they did go for it.
Right.
So you can't kill them both ways.
Agreed. And I'm not killing them for trading for Donovan Mitchell. But I will kill them if they're not willing to go into the tax to make the team as good as possible and try to win a championship next year.
It's a tough spot to be in.
And so, in my
It's a tough
mind,
spot to be
they
in.
need to acquire the best wing player they can possibly get at whatever cost it takes financially. Now, I'm not saying trade Evan Mobley or whatever. No, I'm not saying that. But if I have to trade Jared Allen or LeVert, if I have to go over the tax, I'm a freaking billionaire. Let's go. Do it. I want to win.
And then here's the thing. If we smart enough to understand this, what is his agent telling Donovan? His agent is telling him, listen, if the Cavs really were all in on winning, like they said they were, and they feel like you are a piece, they will do what they need to do to improve this roster. And when you say we're not going to make any significant moves, yeah, everyone is savvy enough to say, well, maybe Altman was hyperbole. He's not going to say that. He'll do some stuff. But then it's no coincidence that Donovan Mitchell is at these other NBA games, dapping people up, hugging people at half court, because he's saying, look, I want to be here. I want to be in this level. And you're telling me that we are here, but you're not willing to do anything, make any sacrifices for here.
And the bottom line is the Cavs don't have a lot of assets to trade. So the only way they can get better at that position is to probably trade for a guy who's overpaid and a team wants to get rid of. Is there a guy better than Harris?
I'd have to scour the
list.
rosters again, but
I mean,
it's a weak free agent class.
Okay, so if it's a weak free agent class, you just mentioned three guys. Tobias Harris is better than all those guys, I think.
What about Harrison Barnes?
He makes a lot of money too.
Hey, no Harrison Barnes. He can hit a three.
I'm not a big Harrison Barnes.
Okay. We still going down the line. Jaylen Brown, what is he doing? He's gonna get traded. What are you doing?
Yeah, but whether the Cavs see in his case, the Cavs have nothing to trade to get.
Oh, they would have to dip into they had to dip into the real players.
Right.
Yes.
Whereas Tobias
Not
Harris,
the fake players.
Right, Tobias Harris, you can get just to take him off their cap.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm thinking like Tobias Harris is the perfect player because he's good. He's just not $40 million good. But if you're willing to take the hit financially, he's worth it because you won't have to give up much to get him.
Yeah.
The Cavs.
But you do have to give up a lot to get him just to match the salaries. Like that's like theoretically speaking, you don't have to give up, but you can't just take on.
So
that
let's say they had to trade. Is there anybody else they could trade besides Jared Allen? No.
I'm
right?
going to look up the Cavs' current contract situations to see what we could add.
You don't think they would trade Jared Allen no matter what?
I wouldn't say no matter what, but I don't think they're actively shopping him this summer. No.
They're not going to trade Garland.
No. But who is their hot besides the big four, if you will?
Okay, you guys ready for their salaries?
Yeah.
So next season, 2023-2024, Darius Garland's making $33.5 million.
Forget Darius Garland. They're not trading.
I'm just going down the line.
He's going on the list.
Garland's
Yeah, go
making
down
$33.5 million.
Yeah.
Donovan makes 33.1. Jared Allen makes 20. Okoro makes 9. Mobley makes 9. Osman makes 6.7. Rubio makes 6.1. Dean Wade makes 5.7. Sam Merrill makes 1.9.
Okay.
And Lamar Stevens 1.9.
Okay. So let me ask you this. All right. Tobias, the Sixers just want to get rid of his contract, correct?
Yes, they would like to do that.
They would trade him just to get the cap relief. Is that fair? They're not looking for much in return. Do you think that's fair or no? Or am I overstating?
But if you're trading $40 million back to them, you're not relieving anything.
That's a good freaking point.
Very.
Yeah.
So why are they going to get rid of him if it's just 1 year?
Right.
Because they have James Harden possibly in the last year of his deal coming up. They have Embiid. They're going to have a new coach. Harris is a guy who wants the ball more than he gets in Philadelphia.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this.
You ain't going to get it here either.
Could you trade Philly? Could you trade Philly, Isaac Okoro, Jetty Osman, and Ricky Rubio, and some second-round picks to get Tobias Harris?
No, that's not enough money.
Money has
Yes,
to
it
match.
is.
Say it again.
That's $21 million.
He's making 40.
Oh shoot, he's making $40 million.
Damn. Look.
Keep going.
Oh my God. All right, well, you'd have to trade Jared Allen.
Yeah.
You would have to
Or
trade him.
Levert. Or Levert could
How
be
much
the starter.
Levert make?
Well, he could be a sign and trade.
Sign
He's
and
probably
trade.
going to get 18, 19 million.
All right, so who would you rather? If you're trading for Tobias Harris, who'd you rather trade? Allen or Levert? Probably Levert, right?
Man, this is-
Honestly, I'd put Mobley at the 5 and surround him with shooters.
there it is.
Trade Allen.
Yeah.
There
Okay,
it is.
So let me ask you this. Could you trade Allen and those 3 slapdicks that I mentioned? You keep Levert, you get Tobias Harris, and you sign Dante DiVincenzo to the exception. You don't go. In fact, you gave away over $40 million in that trade, 4 players. You'd have to get a bunch of slapdicks back from Philadelphia, like lower roster guys.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would Philadelphia ever take a non-shooting center to pair with Joel Embiid?
Yeah, that's the other problem with that.
They're not taking
And
Allen.
Jared Allen is more trade value than Tobias Harris.
All
Far
right.
more. Far more.
Well, I see where you're coming from. I totally get
I'm
you.
just saying, like-
you're trying to think of a trade.
I'm trying to think
I
of a way,
appreciate
like,
it.
by that, if you could somehow add Harris and DiVincenzo, 2
Great offseason.
legitimate good shooters and scorers, the Cavs would be a lot better if you could do that without breaking up, their other 3.
What do you think about Kyle Kuzma?
I like Kuz.
Is he a free agent?
I like Kuz.
I believe
He's going to make a
He's
lot
going
of
to get
money,
more
though.
than he's going to get more
Chris
than
Porzingis.
He's always hurt, isn't he?
he's got a lot of injuries.
Cam Johnson is another guy.
He's restricted, though.
He's
That's the issue with
restricted.
him.
Carmelo Anthony.
Nah, I'm straight.
Oh, I need something stronger than coffee.